Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be the very first TBR video of 2025, and we are going to be doing it by way of my TBR prompt jar. I did a few videos last year where I chose my TBR using my prompt jar, but I added some new ones in here so that we get a little bit of a variety. And the way I think I'm going to do it is that I'm going to pick 10. I feel like I want to push myself and read more, and this benefits me. So I'm in a low spend year in 2025, so this will be a great way to have a hobby that doesn't require additional funds to be used. So without further ado, let's find the 10 books that I'm going to be reading in hopefully January. I think the way I'm going to do it as well is that maybe in February we're going to go back and see what books I haven't read out of the 10, and whether we just kind of say if there's 3 books left, do 7 books so that there's a consistent 10 sitting on my TBR, or if we have to start all over again. I don't know. How am I going to do it? Because my bookshelf is in the hallway. Okay, I'm going to pick 10 and then I'm going to come back with the books and I'm going to go through them. I think that's the best way to do it. So the first prompt we have is a book that you think will make you cry. Prompt number 2, choose a book that matches your last listened song. Prompt number 3, book with a one-word title. Prompt 4, based in a place that you've been to. Prompt 5, book with a TV adaptation. Prompt 6, a hyped book. Prompt 7, my husband picks. Prompt 8, a book with a movie adaptation. I've got 2 here, which will be 9 and 10. Prompt 9, author's name starting with A. And prompt 10, a book with a person on a cover. So I'm going to grab these books and then I'm going to go through them with you. First of all, I'm really sorry about the lighting, but it is literally like not even 3 o'clock yet and it is dark outside. It is foggy as hell. It looks like Folklore Evermore weather outside. So we are having a ring light that keeps reflecting into my glasses, like so. So please bear with me. Anyway, I have picked the 10 here in accordance with my TBR prompts. So let's go through them, shall we? Number 1, a book you think that will make you cry. And this is a book that I am so excited to actually read, and it is Coco Milor's Blue Sisters. I just already know that this is going to make me cry, and it's an anticipated 5-star read for me, so I can't wait. A book that matches your last listened song, and my last listened song was Joy of My Life by Chris Stapleton. So we are going to be reading Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope, a little cowboy romance. All I know about this one is that it's a cowboy romance, but he is also like a hockey star returning home to his little small town, and she works in a ranch and I think her family owns it. It's kind of giving a little bit like Powerless by Elsie Silver, but I love a hockey romance and I love a cowboy romance. So mix them together. What does Hannah Montana say? Best of both worlds. Next, book with one-word title. And for that, I will be reading Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. And this is in anticipation of, I think Searchlight is doing the movie adaptation with Amy Adams. And I can't wait. Basically, if you just want to know what this book is about, it's a mum who kind of is like, oh, I'm fed up with this mundane day-to-day stresses and hardships that comes with being a stay-at-home mother, and basically she turns into a dog at night. Next, we have a book based in a place that you've been to, and for that we will be reading Jessica Knoll's Bright Young Women, and this is based in technically Tallahassee and then Seattle. Seattle is where my grandparents live and where like my aunties and cousins and stuff live, so every summer I used to go there as a teenager. So this is the book that we're going to be reading. I think this is loosely based on Ted Bundy. I love a good thriller, so I have not read any of Jessica Knoll's books yet, even though I do have The Luckiest Girl Alive and I haven't read that. That's all with Mila Kunis on Netflix. Next, we have book with a TV adaptation, and for that we are going to be reading The Trunk by Kim Ryo-ryong. This follows our female main character who is a professional spouse. That includes favors such as, basically you can kind of think of what she would be required to do as a professional spouse. However, the twist here is that one of her old clients asks for her back, and something happens which essentially opens her eyes and us as the readers as to the dangerous and dark world that this industry is. Does that make sense? I'm actually really excited to read this one. Next up, we have a hyped book, and for this I am very much late to the train or the bandwagon. I'm late either way, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I don't think I need to tell you what this book is about. All I know really is that there's love triangles, I think, and then there's fairies and there's bat boys, and I don't know what else. So this is really long overdue, if I'm gonna be honest. So we're gonna do that. And then I asked my husband to pick, and he has very kindly chosen Daddy by Emma Cline. And this is a contemporary fiction with a touch of like mystery thriller. I read The Guest, not The Guest, that's a lie. I read The Girls by Emma Cline, and that was a 3-star for me. I thought it was going to be more about the Manson family as opposed to just the female main character really. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with this one yet, but in any event, I love the cover of this as well as the title. Next we have a book with a movie adaptation. I actually have had Night Bitch, which could have been one of those, but instead of that we have gone for The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. This follows the, what are they called, the 5 Lisbon sisters and what they subsequently do, but it is from the eyes of the male, like the boys, like there's a family of boys I think, or like their boyfriends or something like that. It's from their perspective. I don't know much else about it, and I've genuinely held off watching the movie purely because I really want to read the book first. So I think it's about time. And then of course, last but not least, we have a book with a person on the cover, and for that we are reading All the Lovers in the Night by Miko Kawakami. Miko Kawakami is one of my favorite Asian authors. We follow our main character who has essentially lived in isolation. She's a very lonely person until she meets this gentleman who essentially provides a little bit of light into her life. However, because she's learning to be loved, I suppose, it's also resurfacing all of her deep-rooted issues and traumas, etc. And I think it's that kind of story really. If you haven't read Heaven by Miko Kawakami, please do, because I didn't think a book that was like 100 and something pages could make me bawl the way it did. So that is what my TBR is looking like for the month of January. There are 10 books in here. No, there are 9. Did I only pick 9 prompts? I must have done. Oh my god, no, there was one that was like an author whose name begins with A, right? I'm pretty sure that was a thing. If not, that's number 10, so let me look for that book. Abby Jimenez, perfect. We have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, which appears to be everyone's favorite apparently. This one is a series. I think I get confused because I read Just for the Summer, not realizing that it's actually part of a, like, it's like a connected standalone series, I guess. And I have a feeling this is part of that. But this follows 2 doctors, and she's kind of going through it in her personal life. Then this sexy grumpy doctor that she tends to dislike reaches out, and he seems to actually be a lot nicer than she had anticipated. And he also is a match for her brother who requires like a kidney donor. Yeah, apparently this is really great mental health representation, and I'm very much all up for that. So this will be book number 10 on my January TBR. So just to recap, this is what the 10 books on my January TBR looks like. We have Yours Truly, All the Lovers in the Night, The Virgin Suicides, Daddy, A Court of Thorns and Roses, The Trunk, Bright Young Women, Night Bitch, Holding the Reins, and Blue Sisters. So this will be the first 10 of the year. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a really fun way of picking my TBR, just because I am a mood reader, but when there's too many options, I get really overwhelmed and then I just don't want to do it anymore. And I often find that that's the case. So I think this is a great balance in between the two. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.